Hello and welcome to another pretty fast video. I'm Sarah and today we're going to be talking about everything that is wrong with my Mitsubishi FTO. So I bought this as a project car in 2024 in November. It did run, albeit didn't start very well, and we worked that out the day that we got it home as we tried to turn it back on and it just did not want to start without a lot of encouragement. We did a lot to it in 2025, which was a full service, so including new brake discs and pads on each corner, changing the brake fluid, changing oil, all the basic stuff, and then we did some important repairs. So I took it to Source Performance Garage, which is, he's an IS200 specialist, but he's branching more into Japanese cars too. He's really, really lovely. Because we obviously have an IS200, we know him quite well. So he took a look at it and gave us the rundown of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily have seen right away to sort out, and we went on tackling that in 2025. So that was a new radiator, new coolant, it was disgusting. Sorted out brake discs and pads, they were pretty bad. Lower engine mount had gone, the engine was really low to the floor. Not great, fixed that. And what else was wrong with it? I feel like there was loads. We spent the whole year fixing it, but alas, there is still loads wrong. So this video will be a bit more a rambly one, so make sure to grab a tea and I'll try to get through it as quick as I can. I've written a list of everything that I think is wrong with it at the moment, and I put it on my Instagram story. One of you said to just scrap it, and although sometimes that does go through my head, I'm like, is this worth it? I do love it to bits. So this is the long list that we've got going. I'm trying to divide this more into things that are broken rather than things that I want to do to the car. For example, like I've got some side skirts literally behind me here. They are IS200 side skirts I'm going to chop in half and put underneath. I actually don't know where to start, there is so much to even think about. Okay, we're going to start with the exterior of the car. So as you can see, we've got some matte black paint that was redone by the previous owner. It originally was black, but it was gloss black, so now it's got this like rat rod look to it. And as you can see, if I go any closer than about 10 foot, the paint is in very poor condition. This is one of the reasons I bought it, because I knew that I wanted it a different colour, so it didn't really matter to me what colour it was. So that's the first thing that's really, really bad with it. Second thing that's bad with it, front bumper is very poorly on. All of it has panel gaps in pretty much all of the car. I think at some point it was crashed, because when we replaced the radiator at the front, you could see quite clearly it was bent a little. I don't think the bonnet's shut, because that is a hefty gap going on there. So bumper's not on properly. We go to the back. This is all under bodywork category. Spoiler is not on at the moment. It was leaking water, so I've been sorting that out. So you can see there's a bit of rust here where the water's been going through. On the back, we've got, number one, this number plate is ridiculous. Why is it so tiny? But I need to treat underneath here. Don't know if you can see. Something's going on there, and I really need to take off the bumper and have a little investigation. So also you can see really clearly the paint is so bad. You can see at some point it was red underneath here. So, and then this is cracked as well, which I don't really care about that much, but it is definitely cracked. My exhaust is also slightly hanging off at a bit of a poor angle at the moment. I think you can kind of move it a little bit, but you can also see where it should be here, and it is not. It is underneath. So that needs to be sorted out at some point. And in the summer, I would like to underseal. Obviously it needs to be done for the winter, but why do it in horrible wet weather when you could just do it in the summer? Right, this is a really random one, and no one can really understand what's going on here. It's not as bad on this side, but you can still see it's like bent here. Not sure what's going on there. If I try and get around the other side, I can show you more what I mean. So I think it is supposed to have a gap here, but it is huge and very unaligned. So I think I'm going to have to try and find another one. That one's pending, not sure. Same with, it's scratched off here. Start to rust. Gonna have to tackle that Not sure how to... And if anyone got any recommendations of what I can do about this, let me know. I think I'm just going to have to try and find a new cover for it. What else is wrong with it? My indicators are currently held on by duct tape. I will be sorting that out. It's because I'm going to be respraying. I don't really care that much to put it on properly. My rear wiper I've ripped off, but not properly done it. I need to find a grommet to fit in that section. What else is wrong with it? I think that's it for visually. I've got these really ugly stars on it right now, which I need to take off. Sorry, half. Just was sticking them on for fun in the beginning of winter. But yeah, everything is not quite level anywhere. You can kind of see like a dent if I run it along the side. Nothing is quite level. So bodywork is absolutely horrific. Alright, what's the next category? Interior. So if we open up this door, I can't open it, hang on. Right, when I first got this, I actually could not open the door at all. So that's improvement. So interior, it absolutely stinks in here at the moment, and I can only think it's because the spray paint, so where I've freshly spray painted the boot down here, it hasn't really aired out since I did that, as it's been so cold. So it absolutely reeks. So in here, we've got an absolute nightmare happening. So not only did it get really mouldy because of the water in the boot that I've finally taken out, the dashboard, we used to have a custom cluster on it, an LED, and then it broke. So I had to rip that all out to see the one underneath, and you can still see just like sticky tape on the dashboard. And then we've got Nardo Grey literally everywhere at the moment, aka Primer Grey, which is not deliberate, I just gave up. I fully gave up at the end of last season. So hopefully when I respray the body, I'll be able to do these two. If anyone's been following me on my Instagram, you'll know I had an absolute nightmare with this panel. On any FTOs, they always snap, and mine snapped a lot, especially as I tripped over it in the garage, and it kept going red. So the original owner, if you may not have guessed, everything was red. Everything in this car was red. Like the door handles were red, this bottom thing was red. Everything was red, and I do not like red that much. So this will get done hopefully in a few months' time, but for now we're ignoring it. Look how chunky it is here. Can you see that? Ooh, gross. This bit I resprayed was fine, quite like it glossy, apart from I left it face down and it's got some bumps here, so we're just going to ignore that. And also this is the original LED panel on the clock face, because the original one is not behind it, so I need to basically make a whole custom interior for my dash. So my door handles again were red. I could not get the red out of them. It like melded into the plastic, so they are actually 3D printed, which is kind of hilarious. Unfortunately I'm not very keen on it because I find them quite sharp around the edges, although I could sand it a little, but they're very angular. Not fond of that, so I'm looking for some old door handles from another FTO. I just need to find one. This has come off where I didn't do it properly. To me this just looks like ham. So I need to redo that. I've accidentally got some epoxy resin on the door. I'm gonna pretend I didn't do that. That was from when I fixed the roof in an old video. There was massive rusty holes all along here, which are now sorted out. But again, I haven't prepped it properly yet because we're going to be respraying. God, there's just so much wrong with this car. The speakers in the doors, I currently do not have them. They do not exist. And then all of the sub-wiring has been done, which is good. This works. This is a new stereo that my friend installed for me and gave me as a gift. Yeah. What else about the interior? The sun visors, again, did this in the height of summer. I didn't redo these when I got new glue, so I need to redo these as well. My bad. Oops, you'll learn, lol. These also have, you can't tell very well, but they have like red cracks through them where they used to be red and then someone has resprayed them black. So that really icks me out. And then other than that, I just have no back seats right now. So they went incredibly mouldy at the end of the winter season last year. So they're just gross. So I took them out and now I just have nothing. So it's incredibly loud in here whenever I drive. I think I can see on the left here. See if you can, it's quite dark in here. Oh, you can't tell. I think it's here. I had to epoxy that back in because where I popped off the card to take the ceiling out, it popped a bit of plastic out. So I've just had to epoxy it back in. Oh, you can see the mould on the surfaces still. Oh, so mank. This whole car needs a really, really deep clean. Yeah, that's the interior. So basically, it just needs a rear upholster. I also really hate these seats. I don't know if I can show you. Let me spin you around. So these are all held on by zip ties. This is how I bought the car. Again, knowing that I would eventually want different seats. They're quite sharp, I'll give you that. They are quite sharp. Oh, I did forget that none of these here work. Nothing on here works. I think that's the fog light. That does work. That's aftermarket. These are the wing mirror adjustments. Again, they do not work. Also this, because this is coming off as well. Pretend that is not coming off. Let's open the bonnet. This bonnet, I thought it was just mine, is extremely heavy. Alright, let me just... Okay. So, engine bay. As you can see, it does not look great, but it is running fine at the moment. Except for, we have a slight issue where it sometimes sounds like it's going to cut out. And I think it's to do with the fuel pump. Not sure yet. We had an issue at the very start where it's really dark. I need a light. So when I first got this car, let me actually point you in the right direction. When I first got this car, it didn't start properly, and it turned out to be the stepper motor, which is, I can't see very well, but it's literally like in that little gap in there. So the electrical wiring for that was not attached properly, and still is soldered on slightly dodgily, but I don't think that's the issue anymore. I think it's the fuel pump that's been going. So this engine bay does not look good. I would definitely love to respray all of this. Obviously at one point it must have looked semi-good with all the red, but now it's looking a little bit worse for wear. Especially this bar along here. Desperate to get that changed. So last year you can see I've got a fresh radiator in here because the old one was awful. And then I've also got some quick releases on my battery since that's come in and out all the time. Engine's no longer absolutely slammed to the floor because the mount's in again. You might be thinking, why is there a big gap here? This was the air conditioning. At some point someone has ripped it out, probably for speed. Guess they thought it made the car lighter. So headlights need another polish. They look absolutely dreadful right now. And at the very front, my right indicator. So on this model, on this year of FTO, which is the 95 pre-facelift. So I've got a new bumper, which is the aero kit bumper, but the fog lights, this section here, also the side lights. In some models, the headlights and the side lights are in this top unit, which was a bit confusing with my MOT because they were like, you don't have any side lights, and I was like, what do you mean? So these are my side lights here. The LED strip on the other side does not work properly, so it's just this side at the moment. I've just soldered a new one in. I need to solder this one so they're matching lights. So I need to get my bumper off, and to do that I need to move it out of the garage. So I'm just being lazy. I will get to it. You can see how awful the fitment is. This bumper I got really cheap, but I love it to bits. But it needs some filler and shaping, and also to attach it properly, because right now it doesn't even fit properly. So yeah, I think that's it for this section. I've got some general maintenance to do. At some point I'd love to change the spark plugs out, which apparently is a bit annoying in these because it's the V6 and it's just piddly to get to. I also would love to rip out this fuse box because I recently watched a video where they were looking at the rust in these. Although this one has no MOT flagged rust, which is great, apparently a spot where there usually is rust is behind here, so I'd like to rip that out and have a look. The bonnet is a different bonnet from the original car, so it's rusting through already, and I don't know when this was changed over, but apparently it's a brand new bonnet. It's also not attached very well. This, like, over here is just nothing there, so that's cool. The washer fluid tank is in here, down underneath. Monstrosity. I'll put a picture up of what it looks like. I had to get it through MOT and that was the only thing I could do. Couldn't find a new one, so that was my only option. And then also my bumper here. This is the only way that it's held on, which is the original bumper. We cut off some of the bracket, so this needs to be put on properly. So I need to still figure out how to do that. Pending. So I think, is that everything? Maybe? Yeah, feels like a lot. So I'd love to do a full engine bay clean once I've sorted out the paint on this. And then when it comes to my wheels, they are incredibly chipped up. This is how I got them from the previous owner. They also are absolutely filthy at the moment, so I do need to sort that out. And also I do need new tyres. My wheel bearing was really bad on one side and it's worn unevenly, so that will need to be done. They are so mank at the moment. Not really sure what to stick on here when I change them out, so if anyone's got any recommendations, do let me know. I think that's it. It's just, I love it to bits. It just needs some love and attention. Hopefully that wasn't too rambly. There's obviously quite a lot for me to do. That's kind of part of it for me. I quite enjoy the fixing, not necessarily in the winter. I've not been enjoying the winter fixing things. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and please drop any tips you have for where I can find parts I might need. Paint, I'm going to be doing an at-home paint job, so anything that you think could make that smoother, any links to any videos that could help me out, let me know. Yeah, other than that, bye from my Mitsubishi and me.